What's going on, everyone? Nick Daniels here, coming at you live yet again. Today we got a little bit of a date fail for you, and I thought it'd be kind of funny to talk about, so sit back, relax, grab something to eat, take it easy. There might be multiple cuts. We're in the middle of a park that's extremely populated on Thanksgiving as we're making the vlog for Victoria Park. So that's why I'm kind of like creepily walking down this trail. I'm just kind of observing beyond where I can, like around the corners here, just see if people are coming. So if that case, we'll just like randomly cut the video. You'll know why. Yeah, man, so this fucking date fail I had, I kind of want to talk about it here. A little bit ago, we're going to leave out some key details, just to kind of keep this person ambiguous as possible, which is pretty fucking easy, to be quite honest, because I don't really remember much about them. So I think it was on Hinge. I go on one time, and there's a chick I'm talking to on there. She got a couple of obscure pictures. You know, you can't really see Oliver in the picture, so I'm kind of going against the code there. But I'm taking a risk. You know, okay, because she's been writing back, and she seems okay to talk to. Like, she's not, you know, it's not one of those ones that are like super exciting, but it's fun enough that you're enjoying the conversation. So I'm having a good time with it. She seems pretty nice, and I was like, okay, like, let's meet. She's pretty open to it. First things first, we go to like a park. Quick walk around the park. The park's a very simple date because it's really not that intense. You know, like when you go like one-on-one dinner, it's a little bit more, you know, because like, especially if it fucking backfires, you don't have really a way out of there. You can't just be like, yeah, check please. Like, it's a little more difficult than that, you know. So when you do like a park, it's pretty simple because you can actually just really do a lap, and you could just be like, yeah, listen, I'm gonna head out, and that could be like 10 minutes. So yeah, so we get into it. So I fucking pull up, and originally this chick told me she didn't have a vehicle, so I was kind of like, she's just gonna walk here or something, but apparently she like borrowed someone's car. So that kind of threw me, because I got there early. I always get there like 5 minutes, 10 minutes early, and I kind of like decompressed and I got ready. I was like, I got in the mindset, right? And you know, I get out and I go like into the public, like into the, hey, like, you can clearly see me, I'm visible. And like this girl starts walking up, and I'm kind of looking at her, and I'm like, yeah, because again, I can't even see the full face of the person, so I'm a little skeptical. Like, I don't really know who I'm meeting. Needless to say, I'm kind of observing this person walking up, and they're just one of these people that are staring at their phones, like as they're coming to the date, like probably like they're looking for a text or something. That's pretty fucking normal, right? So yeah, like I said, I see her coming, and I'm like I said, I just fucking put two and two together. By the way, this fucking path is beautiful. Look at this. Yeah. I don't know if you can see that really well, but all the leaves are changing down there. It's fucking immaculate. We'll get on the main trail. We can see more of that right now. So yeah, so like I was saying, I see her coming. She's on the phone, and I'm like, okay. So a couple things I'm gonna say here are gonna sound fucking terrible. First things first, man. She's wearing like a really fucking baggy outfit. We know why that is. Okay? Don't play fucking stupid. We know what's going on there. She's a little bigger. She's probably not super comfortable with it. So it's like, hey, I'm gonna wear something a little flowing, you know, dress, something like that. You know, it's not too tight. And it kind of doesn't look, you know, it's like when you wear black because it's slimming. So that's interesting. And I was like, that's cool. All right, it's fine. But I'm not crazy about it. Okay. She's got like a ball cap on. You know, some girls, like the really fucking, like the supermodels, they pull that shit off, right? Like they do the ponytail in the back. This girl had like short hair and a ball cap on, and I don't want to sound like an asshole, but I'm kind of am. Like, I really wasn't feeling it. I wasn't looking at that and being like, yeah, I'd razz. I'm like, I gotta bail. So I met her, and I was like, hey, you know. So I gotta remember all the details here because they're pretty fucking funny. So like, I would envision meeting this person. The first thing you'd probably do, oh hey, Nick, we were talking. Yeah, cool. right? And you start the conversation. She literally just walked up. I swear to fuck, man. This is like fucking word for word. Walked up. Are you Nick? Yeah? Cool. And like, just like fell in line with me. And I'm like, well, that was fucking weird, man. So she falls in line and she's got like the phone out still. So she's like texting away or something. Like that's just kind of weird. Like we've just met and she's still like on her phone. It's like, okay. So she like, I don't even know, she fucking tucked the phone in somewhere. And she takes up like an arm posture. Where you cross your arms like that. You know, well, you'd have both, right? But you know what I mean. You cross your arms. And as soon as she did that and she continued walking like that, what that signifies is like it's closed off body language. And you know, I'm not reading into that too much, but it was all the little things like this that I think kind of led up to this obviously failing, and that was one of them. Like right away, I don't think there was interest there. Now, I mean, I think you have to be both physically interested in somebody, and mentally. Like you have to be able to like, I've met plenty of women that are very attractive, but I had fuck all in common with. Oh, we're gonna take a side path here. I don't even know where the fuck this is going. But yeah, like I said, we had nothing. We had zero in common, right? And we just call it. It's like, okay, cool. That's happened. That's happened a couple times. And I met definitely a few dates that are just really not my preference in body size, right? Maybe they're too big or something, right? And this was the case. It wasn't, there's a squirrel right here. I wasn't really crazy about it. Dude, he's not even running. Oh my god. Dude, that's insane. He was so fucking close. He's like still right there, not even like fucking booking it. That's very interesting to me that he just didn't just run immediately. Yeah, so I guess like I was saying, we're on a more of a desolate part, it looks like, so I can probably get a little more vocal as I like to be. So the biggest thing about this date is the conversation just fucking hit flat. Like even a few minutes in, it was just like I could tell this is going nowhere. So what I mean by that is like, and you probably follow me here, but like I've had dates where like you're just fucking banging out questions and you're really fucking having a good time. Unfortunately, I had a date like that and I fucked it up after a few dates, which I'll talk about another time. But needless to say, the first date was just like that. It was hours. It was hours of just like fucking hitting it off. And you know right away, right? Like when two personalities click like that. But it also shows like interest. You know, like online dating's like that. When you're having a conversation and you're getting like the one-word responses back, or are you getting like a paragraph, right? When you get a paragraph, you know she's into you, right? You'll probably still get ghosted, but this happened to me recently. Even though I got paragraphs, I was getting fucking ghosted. But when you get a paragraph, there's interest, and that's happened to me before, where I went on something called Match.com and one of the online dating apps. We're getting back to the topic. Don't worry, just 1 second. And yeah, what happened there was like I remember hitting off with this girl, and even though I kind of ghosted her. Well, I didn't kind of ghost her, I did, which was unfortunate, but she's just way too big. But we really hit it off. Like, oh my god, like when you were texting back and forth, it was like novels, right? Because there's like, and sometimes it's a bad thing too, because like you actually want to go on the first date and have all these questions you could ask. You know what I mean? And yeah. But yeah, needless to say, I never got that far with this girl anyway online before meeting her. So, like I said, conversation's just fucking stale as fuck. I was like, she's not really saying a whole lot, and that kills me on dates. Like, I like to talk a lot, but I'm completely open to fucking listening to you. So like, please, like, fucking say something. So I kind of like, I didn't like bait her, but I like led her into a subject that she could probably say something. So I steered the conversation a little bit with her help, and we got it to like some previous jobs, right, when we were talking. And Yeah, okay, there's just like the parking lot up there. Okay, cool. That's where I thought this led. I just figured there'd be like nobody here, which is perfect to continue the video. Yeah, so we got into jobs, and I was like, okay, here's like this is like the fucking sweet spot. And she talks about a previous job, and she ended up, long story short, basically like she got fired, right? And she's like suing them, and she tells me it's retail. And I'm just kind of like laughing in my head. It's like, dude, like it's fucking retail. It's like stocking shelves, and you're like, I'd be moving on tomorrow, like, or yesterday. Like I would have moved on, like I would have forgot about them. That's happened to me before. I didn't make it through probation at like a fucking retail position. I'm like, okay. But yeah, it was just like really funny to hear that. But then it gave me an idea of the personality of who I was talking to. That she was just so hung up on this concept. I was like, Jesus. So like, to preference where we're at, by the way, probably within the first 5 minutes, I wanted out of this date. I really needed a way out of there. Like, I was literally thinking of ways while we were walking and talking. And it's not a bad thing either, but like now that I think about it more, like a couple things come to mind. But one of the things that also made me kind of laugh about this date, if you would call it that, was there was like a lot of awkward silences. And like one of them, I just like waited around. Like I just walked with her and didn't say shit. And I just wanted to see what would happen. And it was a bit of time where it was just like absolutely nothing. And it's like, it's just fucking awkward on the first date. Like if you can't even like keep the conversation rolling. Like if it's just gonna be walking with your arms crossed, it's like, okay, like I'm trying here. And then it'd be like, it doesn't matter if it's like 30 seconds. I know some people are like, how can you not sit in silence? I said, you shouldn't have to on a first fucking date. We're in the middle of getting to know each other. It's been like 10 minutes. And you're not able to just say something, there's a problem, right? And it could be anxiety, I don't fucking know. It's just weird, okay? Maybe if you've been dating a little while, I don't fucking care. You can sit by yourself. It's perfectly fine and not say anything. That's normal. 10 minutes into a first date, you're just like awkward silences. And I'm just like, well, I've been carrying this whole time, so. So the real funny thing about that was that they, like I said, every so many minutes, I would think to myself, like, how the fuck can I get out of this? Right? Like, how can I find an escape? And at the end, she fucking did me a solid. So we get all the way, like, we just did one lap, is what I mean by the end. One lap of the park. Doesn't take very long. I'd say, to be generous, it was like half an hour, tops. And we get to the end, and there's like, it loops around to a parking lot where we were. And I forget, I just threw it out there. I was like, this is the fucking this is the golden ticket, dude, to the Wonka factory. And I was like, yo, I'm pretty hungry. I think I'm gonna jet. And then she was just like, okay. And then just like immediately was already like walking off. It might have not have been like that, actually. I don't know. I can't remember. It was either that or like we got to the parking lot and she already started walking towards the car. I think that's what happened. She already was going to her vehicle. Like, we got up there and stopped for a second, and then she was already like 10 feet towards it, and I was like, thanks. Yeah, and then it was just like, okay, see ya. And then I just jumped in the vehicle, and I just laughed, like, of how fucking terrible that was. Never heard from her. I never messaged her, and that was the end of it. Oh my god, man. It was fucked. I like telling you guys these like random date stories. Like, this was a while ago. This was quite a while ago. And like I said, we'll keep details out of it. That's the most I can give you. But yeah, I don't know, man. It was and I mean, she seemed fine and whatever. But I mean, maybe not for me, And at the end of the day, man, it was like, yeah, I don't think that was meant to be. But anyway, I thought it was pretty funny. So thanks so much for watching, everybody. We're going to see you in the next one. I hope you've enjoyed the walk around this fucking trail. The leaves are nice. I really like the fall vlogs. I'll do as many of these as I can before the season ends. So, alright, take it easy. See you in the next one. Peace.